Hi, I'm Alicia Kinchlow with Kinchlow Law, a family law practice based out of Philadelphia. When people come to me getting ready to get divorced or they've just separated and they ask me what they should do to prepare, one of the tips that I give them that they haven't always thought about is to get a copy of their credit report. Now, as always, I remind you that these videos are for educational purposes only. They are not legal advice. You should always speak with an attorney licensed in your area about the facts specific to your case. Now, getting a copy of your credit report is something that we all should be doing as consumers. We need to have an idea of what is getting reported, whether it's accurate or not, and to keep an eye out for identity theft and fraud. So these are things that we should just be doing generally. When you're separating or getting divorced, you absolutely should be monitoring your credit report. And there are several things that monitoring your credit report is going to help you to see. It's going to give you an idea, first off, of exactly where you stand. You'll have an idea of what your debt is right now at this point in your marriage. And so as we continue to go through the process, we can kind of ascertain, what might have been marital debt at the time of the date of separation. Also, it's going to help you to see what's there. Are there things there that you didn't actually agree to? We know that in some households, one person may control the finances, either because that's the way that you divided the labor in your household, or sometimes, unfortunately, as a means of control, and sometimes even abuse to control the finances. So getting a copy of your credit report will help you to see exactly what's there so you can start to take back some of that control and definitely have an idea of what's going on in your financial life. Another thing it would help you to do is to kind of see whether or not that maybe that spouse that was in control of the finances was doing what they were supposed to do. Do you have late payments? Have the balances gotten a lot higher than you even realized? Again, doing those things and checking for those things are going to put you in good standing. Now, the second thing that I generally tell people to do is to register with a reputable credit monitoring agency. Now, this credit monitoring agency is going to do some of the things that we talked about in the first step of the process of getting your score or your credit report and looking at it. Is it's going to alert you to new accounts. It's going to alert you to where your spouse may not be paying something that maybe is a joint account and now it's hit collections. It's also going to give you an alert to when your balances start to increase. So instead of you having to go through all the time, you should still monitor your statements monthly, but at least you're going to get, as another backstop, another alert coming to you about some of these things that are happening. The third thing you should do is to, as you're going through your credit report, is to make sure that the statements are going to the right place. So again, a lot of the times we're doing things electronically. Statements are going to emails. And again, with joint things, you want to make sure that they're coming to you. If you've left the house, but those statements are, or those accounts are solely in your name, get them moved to wherever you are. If they're joint accounts, make sure that you're getting a copy of those statements as well. Sometimes we're not thinking about this. We just leave those things there. We set them on auto pay and we forget about them. But getting the statements every month will help you to know when something has happened, when there's a change. For example, sometimes we see that there's an escrow analysis or review and the amount for escrow goes up in a mortgage. If you're not looking at the mortgage statement and you're just set on auto pay, you may not realize that you're not actually paying the full amount that you should be paying every month. I've had this happen to a client before because the statements kept going to the other spouse's house. He kept changing it back. So you want to be very careful about those things so you know exactly what's happening. Again, because all of these things are going to affect your credit score or can affect your credit score. The third thing you want to do with the consultation of your accountant, a credit score specialist, and your lawyer is to think about changing access to certain accounts from your spouse. So if you guys have an account where that other spouse is an authorized user, consider whether or not you should change it. If you guys have joint accounts and one person wants to close the account altogether, talk to your credit score specialist about how this is going to affect you and if there's some other steps you can take to kind of make sure that it doesn't affect you too negatively. I tell people to do this in conjunction because as an attorney, we can give you certain advice, but we can't give you everything. Accountants are going to be an important part of that team. Your credit score specialist is going to be another important part of that team. So doing those steps that I just mentioned to you are going to help you to be in a better position to come out of your divorce and good financial standing. And you don't want to set yourself up in a situation where you get through the emotional labor and the legal work of getting divorced only to find out that your credit score has taken a hit because you didn't do the things you needed to do throughout the pendency of the divorce to protect it. And when you're coming out of a divorce and when you're getting separated and you're moving to two different households, your credit score is going to be extremely important for you to potentially secure financing for another car, to be able to get approved for an apartment, or to be able to qualify to either refinance the current mortgage you have to get it solely in your name, or to be able to get a mortgage somewhere else. So it's important that you take these steps, protect your credit score throughout the entire pendency of your divorce. Again, something we should be doing in general, but when someone who is your spouse who has access to your social security number, your date of birth, other sensitive information, and can use those things to get accounts in your name, while criminal in most situations, people still do it. You want to be able to protect yourself. And taking these affirmative steps are some things that you can do to do just that. I hope you found this video helpful. Subscribe, hit the notification button so you'll be able to get other videos just like this. We're going to be doing a video every single day of 2021 with a lot of helpful tips on custody, divorce, support, and some additional legal areas that affect these three areas. All right, until next time, take care.